Hey everybody, Sean here, and welcome to Revealing Truth. And special thanks to Mark Scott for sharing this. Today's video is yet another far-fetched story and scripture twisting from Bobby Conner.
It's pretty wild. The guy that has the station, he was a Hindu and studied all of the Hindu religions, and then he meets Jesus Christ, and he's totally saved. And so the Lord said to him, "Sadhu, my son, what do you want?" He said, "Oh Lord, I want to reach the whole world with your gospel." That's what Sadhu said. And so guess what God said to him? "No problem." And he gave him a whole satellite. Not a place on a satellite, a whole satellite. Because here's this little ex-Hindu, "Oh Lord, I want to reach the whole world with your gospel." Sadhu. Woo! We're going to be with him next week out in Lancaster, California. Well, Sadhu, just to help y'all out with your theology, I met Sadhu because I released a thing that happened to me when I was traveling in the spirit realm. I found myself in Tibet, laying down on a rock, and a shadow went across me, opened my eyes. There's a guy that's 300 years old looking at me, talking to me. What? And he told me about a guy 400 years older than him, 700 years.
So there's a 300-year-old man and a 700-year-old man. Gotcha.
So one day I told about it. I said I was in traveling spirit realm, laid down on a rock in Tibet, and this being came looking at me, had long matted hair, and I said to him, "What kind of a being are you?" I knew he wasn't an angel and knew he wasn't a human. And guess what kind of being he said he was? You ready? This will stir you up. You ready? Yes. One that remains. Remember what Jesus told Pete? Pete, guess what's he going to do? What's it is to you if he remains till I come? So there's a precedent for people remaining till Jesus comes.
How can he twist that verse into meaning there's a precedent for people remaining alive until Jesus comes? A precedent is when an earlier event or action is regarded as an example or guide to be considered happening again. But Scripture doesn't say that Jesus let John live until he returned. Peter had just been restored by Jesus after a painful fall and then asks about the fate of John. And Jesus replies, "If I want him to remain until I return, what is that to you? You follow me." He was simply saying that Peter didn't need to worry about someone else's life. His duty was to follow Jesus. And the very next verse clears this up. It says, "Because of this, the rumor spread among the brothers that the disciple would not die." But Jesus didn't say that he would not die. He only said, "If I want him to remain alive until I return, what is that to you?" And unfortunately, many have made up stories that they've actually met the Apostle John based on this scripture twisting. But let's finish with Bobby.
So this guy that was 300 years old said, "The Lord gave me the opportunity to go into heaven, or I could stay here and pray," and I chose to stay here and pray. But so I told that in a meeting, and they put it on God TV or some way, whatever.
No, my friends, there's no scripture teaching that there are humans called ones that remain in the Bible. Nor do we have any verses where God gives believers a choice when they die to either go to heaven or stay on earth. But Hebrews 9:27 does tell us that it's appointed unto men once to die, and then comes the judgment. Bobby Conner is nothing but a scripture-twisting storyteller that is deceiving many. Please stop listening to him. And with that being said, we're going to leave it here for today, so leave your comments below, and until next time, take care and God bless.